evening. Tonight is the fourth game in the past 10 days for Argyle, and it's been a busy period for sure. They found the last couple of matches pretty tough, just a point from those last two, and it isn't going to get much easier tonight. Burnley are making their first trip to home park in 16 years. They have the meanest defence in the country, haven't lost since November, and are aiming to keep tabs on the automatic promotion places. A difficult evening in store then, and all the action is coming your way as usual here on Argyle TV. Hello, good evening. I'm Erin Black and welcome to Argyle TV this evening as we welcome visitors Burnley to home park. Up against it tonight, one of the toughest sides in the division. Burnley are third. They are unbeaten in 14 league games and they've only conceded 9 goals so far this season. But we like a challenge here at Argyle, and it is Argyle at home park, under the lights, and with the outside expectation against them. So it could be the perfect recipe for an upset. As always, Argyle TV is the place to follow along with all of the action here for Sky Bet Championship football, and that is our focus this evening. Match passes, both audio and video, are available to purchase on the website, aren't they, Pete? Yep, thank you very much. Head over to pafc.co.uk to get all of the details on that. And I'm pleased to say that joining me for the next couple of hours to lead you through the match is former Argyle defender Brian McGlinchey. Brian, thank you for being here this evening.
Pleasure.
It's a difficult game tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. I think this is probably one of the toughest tests that Argyle will have. But these are the games that you sort of relish as a player, and there's no expectation. I think Argyle players can play with a bit of freedom, go and express themselves, and you never know. Football's a strange game, and you sort of pick up results when you don't expect them to.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this earlier as we were on the way over to this side of the pitch, where when the expectation kind of goes against Argyle, those tend to be the moments where maybe the pressure is off slightly because that expectation isn't there, and they end up pulling something out of the bag.
Yeah, football can work in strange ways, as I said, but I think there is a bit of a lack of confidence in the team at the moment, and I think that the key thing is keeping a clean sheet as long as we possibly can, because I think if we concede here, and then that's where I think the confidence might drain again. But we play quite well up at Turf Moor in the away game, so it's about they're not a free scoring team. They're a very good side, but they don't score loads of goals. So we've got to make sure that we're defensively really solid, and then be a bit more effective in the top end of the pitch, like the new manager's talked about, being a lot more positive and affect the game a lot better. So. Yeah. I guess that's what we're looking for, a good performance today to build on confidence, definitely.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, the wait for a league win goes on. I know we had the win against Brentford in the FA Cup a couple of weeks ago, but Argyle are still searching to really establish that form in the Championship at the moment.
Yeah, it's been really difficult. Like the way the Cup game was a real sort of, a good welcome break, really, and a great result, and shows that we can compete. But yeah, I think it's 14 games and without a win. It's a real sort of bad sort of bit of form that we're in, but you've got to win somewhere. You've got to end the rut sometime. So it has to be tonight, because this was a big week for Argyle. 3 consecutive home games. It hasn't worked to plan, and maybe this is the result you would least expect to get points. So maybe that's what will happen tonight. We will get something on the board tonight. Yeah,
I mean, you've got the new head coach bedding into the club as well. He has only been here for a week or so, and of course we saw in the news as well over the last day he's brought in some more of his backroom staff with him now, who are in place for this evening's game. So there are things going on behind the scenes that are going to take some adjusting and getting used to.
Yeah, very much so. Like, a lot of games in a short space of time, so he'd have very little time on the training ground to implement his ideas. I saw his first sort of talk. He was very sort of motivational, wasn't he? So it hasn't gone to plan as he would have hoped. But I'm sure with his new staff coming in, they'll want to get off the ground running. So yeah, what a good game to sort of do that.
Yeah, and again, similar to Rooney, quite transparent when it comes to talking about flaws or issues that Argyle need to address. He spoke after the loss at the weekend and identified areas that players needed to improve on. He wasn't kind of shying away from it or anything like that, which I think is something that the fans probably are welcoming at the moment. Somebody to kind of take accountability and go forwards.
Yeah, he seems very fair and transparent, doesn't he? He gets his views out and open. I think fans like that. They want to hear what it really is like in the change room. But I think there's that balance, isn't there? You don't want to be too honest because you want your players to, they have in the dressing room was said in the dressing room stays in the dressing room type thing. So it's that balance as a manager you've got to probably find. But yeah, early days for him, really tough sort of baptism of games for him. But I'm sure he's really relished the experience.
Yeah, well, we'll have a look at the team that Miron Muslic has selected for tonight, starting with Dan Grimshaw in goal this evening, Barley Mumba, Nathaniel Ogbeta, Julio Pleguezuelo, Ryan Harday, Timoteus Puach, Darko JB, Adam Randall, Rami El Hadj, Michael Baidu and Victor Palson, and on the bench Zach Baker, Jordan Houghton, Ibrahim Sissoko, Callum Wright, Mustafa Bundu, Matti Soranola, Caleb Roberts, Freddie Isaka and Tegan Finn. I think it's only one change since we saw them at the weekend, and that change quite noticeable in the fact that there is no Morgan Whittaker in the lineup whatsoever.
I was expecting that question, to be honest. Yeah, well, all the rumours are going to be, where's he going? Yeah, we don't know. There's been no official announcement by the club of why he's not in the squad. It could be as innocent as maybe an illness or a little niggle, you don't know, but obviously the rumours will be about that some clubs put a bid in for him. Wouldn't be surprised because it's that sort of time of the season where really good players can really give you a promotion push. So, yeah, time will tell, but yeah, a big blow for Argyle if that is the case, but it gives someone else an opportunity to try and step in.
Yeah, I think it is important to add that me and you, Brian, we do not actually know what the deal is with the lack of Morgan Whittaker in the lineup. As Brian said, of course, there has been interest expressed around him from other clubs, but it remains to be seen what happens. He's not in the squad tonight, but players that are Pleguezuelo actually making his 50th appearance for the club this evening, which he was identified actually by Muslic, I think, at the weekend as one of the players that was trying really hard to win his battle on the pitch. That was an area that he identified needed work after Saturday's game amongst a lot of other players. Do you think that's a fair statement?
Yeah, I think all the players work hard, to be honest. I don't think you can look at any of the team sheet or any of the performances and gone, the lack of desire or effort or anything like that. So, yeah, I think he's had an opportunity with a few players leaving, Galloway being injured as well, and you need your sort of more experienced players stepping up because it is a young side out there. So you need everyone with that little bit more experience stepping up and playing well. But yeah, he's going to have a tough ask tonight because, Burnley are a really good side. Yeah. And what's particularly impressive about Burnley is if you look at their bench, they've got so many attacking players that can influence the game from the bench as well. So they're going to be formidable tonight in that sense.
Yeah, Bundu, if he comes on from the bench, will also make his 50th appearance as well. And Rami El Hadj, seems to be making more of an impact as of late. We're seeing him play more regularly. We saw him score not too long ago. How are you, rating his inclusion into the squad?
Yeah, I think it's. I was here for the Oxford game, and him and Whittaker were sort of in the half spaces and just behind Baidu, and he was a lot more influential than he has been. He was getting on the ball and on the half turn and making things happen. You can see he's really comfortable getting the ball in tight spaces and wants to dictate the play. Yeah. But it is tough in this division. It's tough to get in those spaces because teams do the homework on you and they make it difficult for you to get on the ball. But yeah, I think of late he's been in better form, and you can see why Argyle paid that sort of money they did for him. So yeah, he's a quality player. We probably just need to see more of it.
Yeah, well, certainly we need to see more goals because it's just one goal scored in the last 3 league games, Brian. And, top scorers are Whittaker, not included in the list tonight, and Bundu, who's on the bench, both with 4. So El Hadj may be one of the players that can show a bit of creativity tonight.
Yeah, very much so. He will get that opportunity. I'm obviously Baidu's come in for probably our record signing, so I'm really intrigued to see how he does again. I don't think he is a natural or a number 9. I think he likes to play maybe off Hardy. Yeah. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he does as well. But yeah, Argyle, they're a decent side. They just that bit of confidence. They've demonstrated they can get results when they went to Brentford. Mm-hmm. Again, it's just winning your duels, believe in yourself, and treat this little bit like a cup tie as well. Nothing to lose, just go for it. Yeah,
something's got to give. Whether it will give tonight against Burnley remains to be seen. Let's have a little look at the lineup that they have put out for you this evening. In goal, James Trafford. Maxime Esteve, CJ Egan-Riley, Josh Brownhill, Jaden Anthony, Connor Roberts, Lyle Foster, Zion Fleming, Lucas Perez, Josh Cullen and Josh Laurent. And on the substitutes bench, Vaclav Hladky, Joe Worrell, Jeremy Sarmiento, Jay Rodriguez, Bashir Humphreys, John Egan, Hannibal Medjbury, Luca Cogliosho and Ashley Barnes. Like you said, Brian, this is a difficult side to go up against and defensively very, very strong.
Yeah, I think they're unbeaten in 13, 14 games. So I think their last defeat was in November, something like that. So yeah, they're a really tough side. But they have to keep winning games to stay up with the promotion push for their under. But they've got experience all over the pitch, like the captain, Brownhill, been around for years, really experienced player. Cullen, really experienced player. But yeah, they've got good players all around the pitch, as we know. But the bit that, when I was looking at the team sheet that I mentioned earlier was the bench.
Yeah.
Just real experienced players. And you got Ashley Barnes, who used to play for us years ago, real experienced player in this division as well. So yeah, they'll be a tough outfit because if it's not going well for them, they can make changes that can really then affect the game. So Argyle are going to be at their best. Probably Burnley have got to be probably off the pace a little bit. But as we said, football can work in sort of strange ways.
Yeah. I mean, they've kept 5 consecutive clean sheets and conceded just 9 goals all season, as we said earlier. That's going to be a tough nut to crack. James Trafford, in particular, saved 2 penalties last week against Sunderland. So if Argyle kind of want to up the stakes on their scoring, they probably couldn't have picked a more difficult team to try and crack through.
Yeah, but you think of the games we've won. We've won here against Sunderland. We beat them. You think games last year, we beat Leicester to sort of really making sure we stayed in the division where no one expected us to beat Leicester at home. So, as I keep saying, it's not about who you play. You've got to respect the sort of opposition, but you've got to go and just go for it and just play your own game and win your battles, and then you see where the result takes you. But on paper, and when you look at data and you look at all the things, yeah, it looks formidable.
Yeah, I think that is maybe one of the slightly reassuring things about Argyle is that when you get put up at a fixture like this and like the ones we've seen previously, you kind of go, yeah, okay, it is what it is. And then, sometimes a little bit of magic happens under the lights here at Home Park.
That's the thing about a beauty about team sport. It's not individuals, it's about a team collective. And if everyone plays 8, 9 out of 10, then you don't know how the result will go, really. So, yeah, that's what the manager will be wanting. And I think he talks about the running stats, the effort, the desire, all those things he wants to see, and that's the thing about a team game. If everyone does that, and they play as a team and they fight for each other, I've seen more sort of strange results of Argyle got a result today. Put it like that.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's not about individuals, but Ramsey, Benson, and Redmond, they are all out injured. They're not a particularly high-scoring team, but when you're this difficult to break down, it doesn't, they kind of cancel each other out, I think, for Argyle, possibly.
Yeah, well, I heard their manager talking about, like, when you play away from home, that maybe potentially they'll have a bit more freedom. When they play at home, teams sit back and they're more difficult to break down. So maybe away from home, they'll have a bit more freedom. But then it's up to Argyle to take the game to them, but then be not sort of kamikaze in the sense of they leave sort of gaps open. So Argyle have got to play a game where, they attack when they can and go for it, but then be very mindful of on the break because they've got real pace in the team as well, so they can hurt you.
Yeah, well, we know it's going to be hard for Argyle tonight, but he's a man of many words and many good words as well. Head coach Miron Muslish is in a very bullish mood going into tonight.
And I don't think I need to tell you, I don't think anyone needs to tell you about their defensive record, Burnley. It is impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed. I think one of the best defensive records in England and throughout Europe, one of the best statistically defensive structures. So this is a massive, massive challenge for us. And there we have to be very, very clean how to prepare the attacks and how to put the team in danger, which is very, very strong, exactly avoiding this kind of situations in the game. But we have to believe that we can attack. We have to believe that we can go outside and create also goal-scoring opportunities and moments of urgency for Burnley to defend. And we have to be also on the other side very structured when we are attacking, so we are not get catched and get caught in a possible transition, because this is also one of the strong parts of Burnley. So nothing will be easy for tomorrow night. But that's also the challenge we have to face.
Yeah, it certainly won't be easy. But like you say, you've got to believe. Is that one of the biggest things about trying to do damage to a side that are so strong defensively?
Well, for sure, and I'm only here for 8 days, so it's actually my day number 8 today, and we are facing tomorrow night already the 3rd game. So I had actually more games than training sessions, and we're still in this process. And don't also underestimate the January. That's a month of transfer windows, transfer rumors. So a lot of things are going on off pitch, but that's the mindset we want to create also in Argyle, to believe in us first, and to recognize that we also have some strength and the desire and the heart to just go outside and also show this. Because if you don't have a chance at all, and that's something we don't want.
Miron Muslic there. I mean, he remains positive, and I think that's important, Brian. We lost it the weekend. We haven't seen how he, as a manager, as a head coach, responds to a loss yet. So do you expect maybe a change in Argyle this evening?
I think you'd want to see a reaction, wouldn't you, after, I think it was a disappointing result and performance against QPR. So they'll want to make sure that they bounce back and be aggressive and make it really difficult for Burnley. If Burnley are going to get 3 points here or get anything from the game, they're going to have to earn it. So I think he'll want that sort of performance, and the Argyle fans want to see that bit of desire. So yeah, a reaction from that way. But yeah, he seems a very positive guy, and you've got to be that. You can't be too down. You've got to let results go. Sometimes you've got to say, right, let's go on to the next game, because if you dwell too much, then it could affect you.
Yeah, of course. And you know, you've got a squad looking up to you as well that kind of want that positivity, that belief in them to go forward. When you talk about this bounce back for Argyle, what kind of approach, you know, do you think we can expect to see them take? I mean, Muslic has previously spoken about that high press and kind of getting out and attacking and going forward. Is that the kind of thing you're anticipating this evening?
Yeah, I think with a bit of balance into that, to be honest, I think they'll be making sure that they're defensively solid, because I think you've got to make sure you don't give stupid goals away and don't give them chances or any encouragement.
Yeah.
But I think when you've got a chance to go forward, he's talked about being more, impact the game at the top end of the pitch. I think we've been okay in the middle halfway line areas, but in the top end of the pitch, we've not really hurt teams and made them really sort of defend properly. So yeah, be a bit more effective at the top end of the pitch, you'll want to see. But fundamentally, it's about being aggressive, winning your battles, and just making it difficult for the opposition. And if they're going to beat you, they've sort of beat you on a really good performance, and they sort of deserve it type thing. But not really Argyle not giving it a go, really.
Yeah.
That's what you don't want to see.
Yeah, well, of course, we've got teams at two opposite sides of the table, and Burnley boss Scott Parker has his eyes firmly on promotion. And interestingly, having coached against Miron Muslic's circled Bruges side when he was in Belgium, he knows tonight won't necessarily be as easy as people think.
This ain't going to be an easy game on Wednesday night. A new manager comes in. I think he's had 2 games now. They're a team, of course they are, where they are in the league, and how they've done in current form. I really take no reference to that in that sense. If we don't turn up here on Wednesday night with the right attitude, the right mentality, this will prove a very, very tough game for us. So as always, we need to be fully aware, and we need to approach this game like we've approached the majority of games this year, to give us the best platform to obviously go and win this game, really. So I suspect an aggressive team, a team that are wanting to come to try and cause us as many problems as they can in their home stadium, and we need to be fully aware, which we will, and us to oppose ourselves on this game like we have done for the majority of this year, really. But in terms of the new coach what's come in, I expect him to come and give us a game here. These teams what have been in Belgium as well, an aggressive team that want to try and put you under pressure and come with a real intensity to their game. So I suspect that's the way it will look this game. I think it's fair. Look, away games obviously become a little bit more open, because obviously the home team want to try and oppose themselves a little bit more. But like I said, I think this game will be an intense game for us.
I think a word we can use to describe Burnley: consistent so far this season, and consistency is key, to get them where they currently are in the table.
Yeah, they conceded that sort of amount of goals is a pretty phenomenal record, to be honest. Really efficient side. Scott Parker knows how to get out of this division. He did it with Bournemouth. So he's a really, he's a good manager. I remember when he played at Charlton, he was a real good footballer as well, and he played for the Chelsea as well. So he knows what it takes to be a good player and what teams need to be successful. So, yeah, real difficult task. But but as I say, Argyle lads, this is why you play football, playing games like this, and under the lights as well, full house. So yeah, looking forward to the game.
Yeah. Do you think when you take a step back, look at the wider picture for Burnley beyond tonight, likely that they may make it out of this league?
Well, 100%. Their budget will be phenomenal compared to ours. The expectation is for them to go straight back up. And their players will be really eager to do that. So yeah, and they're on the right sort of vein, on the right track to do that. But it's a tough league. There's lots of teams who will potentially buy in this sort of window to try and push for promotion. I'm sure they'll look at the market as well. So yeah, that's their goal. But we've got a goal as well of staying up. So and that's what we've got to do as well.
It's kind of like which need outweighs the other, isn't it? Because I think when you're both in similar positions where you're striving for something, whether that be to get promotion or to stay in the table, that hunger, that drive really can motivate you.
Yeah, because lots of people are writing Argyle off, saying that they're down already and plan for League One next year. I think it's ludicrous. I think a couple of wins can easily get momentum going, get you back up into them sort of spaces where then you're fighting. Yes, there is a gap, but you just got to go out tonight and really want it. And whoever wants it the most will probably win the game.
Yeah.
And that's the attitude you got to have. So for me, Argyle have just got to forget all the noise and just play the match and not the occasion, and just win the battles.
Yeah, I think it's about 5 points adrift at the bottom at the moment. I mean, when you say that as a player, if you're, I don't know if you've been in situations quite like the one that Argyle are currently in, but are you factoring that in when you go out onto the pitch, or is that, like you said, just noise in the background and you're just going game by game to make sure you win?
I think it'd be wrong for me to say you're not aware of it, but I think as a coaching staff, when you're in that change room now, especially now, you're thinking about what can you can't impact what people say. All you can do is control the controllables, and that is what you do out in that pitch. So that's what you got to do, and you got to focus on that job. It is difficult, but that's why they're professional footballers. It's not easy, and that's what they get paid to do. So fingers crossed they can do it tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are just under 10 minutes away from kickoff now, so pretty much ready to get going for you on Argyle TV tonight. It's a pretty packed out home park, everybody very eager to see what happens over the next 90 minutes. So a reminder, if you haven't got your match passes already, you can do so now. Get them now before kick-off, of course. Charlie Price and Mark Edworthy are standing by for all of the commentary, and Brian and myself will be back at half-time, hopefully with some highlights to show you.